Coaches, are you looking to create or refine your offer so as to command higher ticket prices? Are you making offers but you're not getting as many signups as you would like? Or maybe people keep giving you the money objection. I can't afford it, it's too expensive. If any of this sounds familiar, no worries. Today, we are diving into the 6 key elements you want to consider when creating your offer if you want to make it a truly irresistible, no-brainer offer that will actually sell itself no matter the price. Now, let's get into one of my favorite topics, and that is offer creation. I've created quite a few courses and offers in my time as an entrepreneur, as well as when I was in higher education. Some have sold like hotcakes, and others have flopped. I've seen it all, right? Now, my one-on-one mentorship and my next level impact mastermind, which has gone through 3 different iterations, they are my signature irresistible offers. And it took time and tweaking and obviously getting feedback and learning what my ideal client wanted and needed in order to make it a no-brainer offer for the right person. So let me tell you that I have learned quite a bit about what you want to consider when you are creating your offer that's actually going to stand out from the rest, especially now with so many offers starting to look and sound the same. How can you really, rise to the top and have your offer become what your clients are craving, what they're looking for? Now, what I love most about offers is the creation process. I think a lot of coaches, we're creative, we feel this way because, we are naturally creative when it comes to birthing something that we truly believe in and believe will and feel will actually help other people get results. While the creation process is fun, it is the part that most entrepreneurs will spend days, weeks, months on, and they miss the mark in terms of taking the time to identify what actually creates a no-brainer irresistible offer that's going to fly off the shelf and command high ticket prices, right? What are those considerations you want to have dialed in before you actually create an offer so that your ideal clients can't help but take you up on it no matter the price, right? I call them your blockbuster offers, your irresistible offers, no-brainer offers. One of those words, right? If it's a blockbuster, it's notably expensive, effective, successful, large, and extravagant. Basically, it's a no-brainer when I call it blockbuster, right? That your people cannot resist. And that's why we're going to be talking about those 6 key elements that you want to consider before you actually go and create your offer. And if we're meeting for the first time for some reason, right? Why should you listen to me? My name is Oninia Nike. I'm a wife. I'm a mom of 3, an award-winning life and business coach, an international best-selling author, podcaster, speaker, and I help high-achieving visionary coaches such as yourself to own your unique genius, master your message, nail your offers, and position yourself as the go-to expert so that you can confidently land more dream clients who happily pay your premium prices, okay? All right, let's get into it. Now, the first element of an irresistible offer is you need to identify how big is the problem. If you don't have the size of the problem clear, it's not going to sell. You can't solve little problems and expect to build a massive business. You can't just help people, let's say, feel better. Now, it may seem like a big problem, and no one would deny that feeling better is important. However, what I'm saying though is in the business world, feeling better is not a problem that people will pay you $3K, $5K, $10K, and more for, right? And the question is, what would someone pay $5,000 for? So you can't just help people do something vague and generic. And the reason why you can't do something vague and generic is not because it's not important. It's simply because if the person is unclear as to what the problem is actually costing them in their life, why it's important to them, and why they actually need to get it fixed now, how are they going to pay you thousands of dollars, right? They need to be able to justify it so that it makes sense to them. They have to actually see the value in it. That being said, it's not enough for you to think it's a big problem. Your market must believe it's a big problem. And that is the biggest issue that I see with most coaches that are feeling stuck or struggling. They're too focused on what they want to do for the market instead of what the market needs them to do for them. You can't sell people what they need. You've got to sell them actually what they want. And I know this is the biggest block for some coaches, and I've had clients who really struggle with this, but value is determined by the market, not by the coach. You cannot tell people what they should value in terms of the problem that they want fixed. The best marketers, they see the problem and they innovate in order to solve it, but they don't reinvent the wheel. So you have to find what problem does your market, your ideal client, want fixed, or what results do they want to achieve. This is the most important thing that you can do, because the coaches who struggle are the ones who do so when they create offers that they think people need and they feel like putting out, instead of them axing their market and crafting an offer that the market actually wants and is ready to invest in and buy. So let me give you an example. One of my clients, she's a life coach, and she helps people to overcome limiting beliefs. She was charging about $68 an hour, and she was helping people with all sorts of things: their life, obviously, their goals, their careers, their relationships, and getting them amazing results, because she could help them, resolve some of those big mental blocks. Anyways, when she came to me, she was ready to create a package and raise her prices, but she still wanted to focus on helping people feel better. Now, she had the skill sets and expertise, right? She was an expert. She knew how to achieve results. The problem was that she was a generalist, not a specialist, because she hadn't chosen one big problem that she wanted to solve that was actually worth a lot of money. So what did we do is we narrowed down to people who are actually miserable in their careers and looking to transition out to a career that, they were passionate about. It's the same limiting belief, right? Coaching that she's doing. She's still doing limiting belief coach process, but now she's actually solving a very specific and a very big problem that people are willing to pay $3,000 to $5,000 for. Think about it. Wouldn't you pay anything to leave the soul-sucking job that you dreaded every single day, that made you doubt yourself, lose your confidence, and hate your life? So you see that was a big enough problem that people actually wanted solved. She still helped them overcome their limiting beliefs and overcome things about themselves and become happy and more fulfilled. But the tangible problem centered around transitioning in their careers. Does that make sense? So here's the solution. You want to solve a problem that is the most painful for people, or people have the greatest desires around. And it's got to be what they say they want and they are willing to invest in by pulling out money for. It's not what you think they want, okay? Now, the second element to creating a no-brainer, irresistible blockbuster offer is how long the person has had that problem. If your people have been dealing with the problem for just a week, they probably don't care enough to buy something to fix it. So for example, when I first started coaching other coaches, I started by helping beginners who had really just kind of started their coaching business like a few weeks, or, maybe they were a month or two in, or they were kind of thinking of launching their business, and they, of course, they wouldn't ever spend thousands of dollars on getting help, especially at that stage, because they haven't gone through all the struggles and challenges, right, and frustrations of actually having to grow a business and having to find leads and land clients. So they don't value what I do for them enough to invest at a high ticket price. Not saying they won't buy like a low ticket course, but not high ticket. On the flip side, when I started focusing on coaching those who were in a year plus in their business and were still not consistently hitting their 5 to 10K month goals in their business, they were more receptive to investing high ticket to solve their problem. They were like, listen, we don't want to spend another year wasting time trying to figure this whole marketing and sales and offer positioning thing out. So they gladly invested with me $3K, $5K, $10K plus for support and guidance to speed up their results and collapse the timeline. So you may be solving a big problem, but if you're talking to people that have dealt with it for like a short amount of time, because it's not going to matter, because it's only been a while, they may not know that they either have the problem or they may not have struggled long enough to see the value of fixing it at a high ticket price, and of course saving them time. So remember, time is also relative. It's dependent on the problem that you solve and for whom. Like, think about marriage, right? If you help couples solve marital problems, the couple that's been married 10 to 15 years that is unhappy, they may value your offer more than a couple who's in the newlywed stage and they've only been married for a few months. They're still, rose-colored glasses, right? Again, there are nuances here, and that is why having a coach, obviously, to look over and help you personalize your offer is so crucial, because it isn't always cut and dry. But ultimately, you want to speak to people who have had the problem the longest and are looking to solve it ASAP. They don't want to waste any more of their time, okay? Now, the third key element is understanding the complexity of the problem that you solve. A small complex problem is something that they can Google and figure out themselves. So if the problem you're solving, they can literally go and Google it or YouTube it, and there's like 30 blogs on the first page of the Google, they're not going to see the value of investing to solve. But a high complex problem, that's something they may never be able to figure out on their own. So you can choose a problem that nobody online is answering for free, or if they are giving it away, pick a problem to solve that people are not able to implement properly just based on just looking at free teachings or information, because it's so complex. There's many aspects to it. Here's an example of a low complex problem is how to shoot a basketball, right? How many videos can you find on YouTube showing you how to shoot a basketball for free, or a free course on Udemy, or right? It's really simple. And if you're really serious, obviously you could go to the courts, shoot some baskets the wrong way for hours and just have fun with it, maybe with some friends and stuff like that, just kicking it, right? And not even caring. But what if you needed to win a basketball game in order for you to get a full ride scholarship that would get you into the biggest universities that the NBA recruits from? Now you're talking about your future career here, and something that could actually change the trajectory of your life. The complexity of how many things then now you need to learn, from your posture to the angle to the way you hold the ball, and maybe the way you hold your wrist, right? To running defense, all of that. Now you're talking about the advanced stuff. But see, you can't just YouTube that. And even if there are free videos, nobody would be able to implement that level of complexity from a video, right? Knowing how to actually do it at a pro level. You would need someone to help coach you through it. See, that's the value of coaching. The difference in information versus actual coaching is that information alone, obviously, as we all know, is never enough. If you're trying to solve a big enough and complex enough problem, like let's say building a 6-figure business, it's a complex problem that no person's free content, I don't care who you are, can show you how to do. Because the amount of challenges that you're going to hit internally, like inner game stuff, and externally, and the things you're not going to understand just due to misunderstandings, that information is huge, right? It's going to happen. Because even if you watch the greatest course online for free, you might just be listening to it wrong. You might hear them say one thing, oh, that's what it means, but it's actually not what it means. Or the way you do what the instructor is saying is not correct, right? But how would you know that unless you have someone who's looking at it and guiding you and giving you feedback around what it is? So if the complexity is high enough of what you do, no amount of information will ever be able to fix it. It requires an expert like yourself to look at things, give feedback, guide people, course correct if needed, coach you through any mental blocks that may come up. So many things, right? Like if you're playing, let's say if you're playing piano for fun, you can learn that on YouTube. But if you want to go pro and play big time, sign with major record labels, then you need a piano coach, right? Or a piano instructor. And they are thousands of dollars for the best in the industry. But since landing a label deal is potentially worth a 6-figure plus salary, you would be willing to pay that piano coach 5 figures in order to get the results that you want, proficiency in piano playing. So the solution is very simple here. You want to choose a problem that is hard to figure out, not for you, of course, but for your market. Me, I'm great at looking at someone's marketing and within a few minutes being able to tell them what they need to tweak, whether it's in their offers or their messaging or even their strategy to start seeing sales. And I can also support the resistance and mental blocks that hold back most people. And I can coach people through them quickly. So it's easy for me, but it doesn't mean it's necessarily easy for others, right? And that is why my clients come to me, invest in my premium packages. So you want to be very clear on what is that problem that you can solve with ease for your clients that may be difficult for them to do on their own, okay? The fourth element is understanding what is the level of skill that's required. Let me ask you this. Which one requires more skill? Sweeping the floor or performing brain surgery? Pretty straightforward, right? So if you have a high level skill that very few people have, you can charge high ticket for your offers because only you can do what you do in the way that you do it. And the level of skill that's needed is not what the average person can do, i.e. brain surgery. So your offer is already a blockbuster, irresistible offer just by the nature of the skill level that's needed to help someone solve a problem and get a result. Consider what is that thing that makes you different in skill than anyone else, right? This one is really all about you just figuring out what or how do you do things differently from everyone else in the marketplace who does something maybe similar to you. your special sauce, your secret ingredient. Maybe you have a unique method or skill set that others cannot replicate. Maybe you offer certain services or done for you elements that aren't available anywhere else. You've got to figure out what is your brain surgeon offer that differentiates you from everyone else. When you have figured that out, your competition, it becomes irrelevant, and your people, they happily pay your prices without hesitation because it's something that is unique to only you and the only experience that they can experience working with you. Okay? So today's question is, what is your secret sauce or your brain surgeon offer? Let me know in the comment section. Let's talk about it. Now, the fifth element to crafting a truly irresistible, no-brainer, blockbuster offer is understanding the speed of results. This one is where people get all weirded out because they think the longer something takes, the more valuable it must be. So if I give you like a 10-year program, you should pay me $1 million. That's not how it works. People want results fast. This is a fact. The faster that you can produce results, the more time you save them and the more valuable you actually become. That's what creates a blockbuster irresistible offer. Now, obviously, you know it needs to be realistic, right? So for example, you can't tell someone you can help them lose 30 pounds in 5 days. That's not realistic. Instead, consider the most realistic amount of time it could take someone to lose, let's say, a certain amount of weight on their way to the bigger goal. Maybe you can say you can lose 10 pounds each month for a total of 30 pounds in 10 months. That's pretty good, right? To help your clients get results faster, really evaluate what do you need to put in place or maybe even remove from your programs to help them get those results faster. Take some time and figure out how can you realistically help people get results as fast as possible. Remember, this will be unique to your industry, the people you serve, and the results that you help people achieve. So figure that out. Now, the sixth element to consider in order to create a truly irresistible, no-brainer, blockbuster offer is the certainty of results. This one's a little overlooked, but it's actually the make or break in a sales call. You have to be 100% certain that you can actually solve their problem. Because if you're not certain, they will feel it and they will not buy. Here's the thing, you're going to have to learn to be certain by getting results and selling yourself on your own offer first. This is the most important thing that you can do if you want to make sales consistently. This is also why I stopped working with coaches who had never helped other people get results, because you may be good at something, but without helping another person achieve that same result, you don't know if you'll be good at teaching it to other people. And those are two very different skills. Think about professors. Listen, I once had a class for organic chemistry, and our professor was the biggest chemist with all these accolades and awards, but he could not teach for poop. Okay? Like, his reviews at the end of the semester were complaint after complaint after complaint about his inability to break down in a way that made sense, especially since we all know chemistry is a really tough subject. He knew the material well, but he just couldn't teach it to the students in a way that they could understand and grasp and apply. So it was useless. Only 10% of my class barely passed. So what I'm saying is that you have to be certain that you can actually help someone else get a result that you've been able to achieve. Because if your prospects feel like you're wavering and not sure, they will not buy, especially not at a high ticket price point. Because high ticket clients, they buy your certainty and confidence in your ability to help them get a result. And that is also why most coaches actually undercharge and keep their prices low, even when they want to raise them. It's because they lack certainty in their ability to help someone get a result, so they're afraid. That being said, certainty is actually a decision. It is not a circumstance. If you're not certain, you get to make yourself certain. You get to decide today that you're going to be certain. And if you question if you can get results for clients, make sure you do. That is also a choice as well. You could work with more people until you can help them get a result. I have a whole video on results since they do ultimately come from your clients. But part of getting people results is making sure that you are clear on the specific problem that you solve and the solution that you can help a very specific type of person to get. Clarity is a choice. It's not a circumstance either. You don't wait for someone to one day grant you certainty and clarity. You have to decide to be certain right now. So the solution to good results is that you need to develop absolute certainty in yourself and in your skills and in your expertise to help another person get a result. That's it. Okay, let's quickly recap the 6 key elements you want to consider in crafting your irresistible, no-brainer, blockbuster offer if you want it to sell. First, how big is the problem? How long has the person had the problem? How complex is this problem? What is the skill level required to solve this problem? What's the speed of result? And of course, certainty of the result. Take some time and evaluate your current offer, or use these elements that I've shared with you as a kind of a checklist before creating your next offer. Remember, for an offer to be irresistible, you need to have absolute certainty around who can benefit the most from it and wants that problem solved or that particular solution right now. Incorporate these 6 elements to take your ordinary bland offer and make it truly an irresistible, no-brainer, blockbuster offer that sells itself. Oh, and by the way, as always, if you're craving deeper personalized support to help you either build out your first offer or optimize your current offers so that you can have your dream clients clamoring to work with you at any price point, fill out the application for the Next Level Impact Mastermind, or you can send me a private message. We can chat back and forth and see if it would be a good fit for us to work together. Okay? As always, if you found value in today's episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, hit that notification button, and connect with me on social media at OninyeCienike on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, or TikTok for more live trainings. And of course, check out my bio and description for more free resources. Until next time, my friends, stay blessed.